Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. It's another lovely, warm January day here in Villamartin, Spain. So, in a few minutes, we're heading out the door. I've got a packed schedule ahead today. But first of all, let me tell you what today's video is about. I quite often get asked by my viewers and subscribers to make videos on the cost of living here. And I'm planning a detailed video soon. I'm already working on it, covering my total monthly expenses, what I actually live on, how much I need per month now here that I own a property to live on in Spain. But today I'm going to delve into another question which I get asked just as often, and that is, how much does everyday stuff cost in Spain? Or I suppose, to be more accurate, because I live in the Merse area, in this area that I live, Torrevecchia, and I can't imagine up and down the coast the day-to-day stuff costs or fluctuates that much. I'm going to focus on what I pay in my area, okay? I'm going to cover stuff like groceries, petrol, takeaway food, car insurance, basically all the stuff that keeps everyday life running smoothly and your stomach full. Now, any of you that watch the channel do know I have my own way, my sort of quirky way of doing things, and this video is no exception. So instead of bombarding you with boring lists and spreadsheets, etc., this video is going to take a more hands-on approach. And by the end of the video, I think you'll have a good, solid sense of what everyday costs are like here, with no math-induced headaches picked up along the way. What this video isn't going to cover is expenses like rent, rates, or home maintenance fees. That's all coming in my full cost of living video that I'm already working on. And while I'll do my best to compare apples with apples, is that right? Like with like, it's difficult to be 100% precise because there's so many individual preferences and choices and the like, you know. And one thing is definitely for sure, with me being the budget traveler, no, budget liver, no, budget, living on a budget, I'll be avoiding pricey stuff wherever possible. Right, so here's today's path. I'm going to visit the two supermarkets that I visit most often, Aldi and Mercadona. I'm going to show you prices for everyday items and compare them to each other, but also I'm going to compare them to UK and Irish prices. And by the way, I want to do everything in euro, so even the UK stuff, I'm going to do it and convert it all to euro, so everything's the same, to give you an idea of the difference in prices percentage wise, which I have said in previous videos I believe is about 20% less in Spain than UK and Ireland, but that's just my calculation. And because I'm only a human with a soft spot for the likes of potato, cheese and onion, Fray Bentos, steak and kidney pie, and HP fruity sauce, among other things, I'll also stop by my favourite overseas store here. And keep in mind, I do not do my full shop ever at overseas shops. They're treat yourself kind of places with much higher prices due to the fact they have to import them, etc. But it'll also give you an idea of what those groceries cost. And by the way, there are people who do their full shops in their full shops, or as much of their full shop as they can possibly do in the overseas shops. If you're comfortable financially and it's no problem to you, yeah, you know, you can almost shop as if you were getting into Tesco's. That's the truth. They have Iceland stuff. They have, oh, I don't know what other stuff they have, but yeah, if you're willing to spend the money, but it is very expensive. I go into, for example, Aldi once a week, and my 2 bags that I get's usually about €25, and then I go to the overseas shop for my treats, and the single bag, usually half full that I get, is over 30. But although I do live a budget life, I do enjoy my treats. I do enjoy being comfortable. One quick note. Supermarkets aren't always thrilled about YouTubers walking around with their cameras looking at their prices and videoing their stuff. So I'll be in stealth mode. I'm not going to talk too much in the supermarkets. I'll do a voiceover for it. And if I get kicked out, we'll just call it a plot twist. Although I don't know how I would finish the video. Alright. And anything that I don't cover on the move, because we're going to go to other places, I'll cover when we get back here towards the end of the video. Now, there's something important I want to point out. There are many other ways of saving money on everyday living here in Spain. A great example is markets, but I'm personally not a market shopper. I don't eat a lot of veg, that's the truth, so you'd buy a lot of your veg and stuff there. And I'm not a big clothes shopper. I like to simplify that as much as I possibly can and go and buy stuff in the CNA or something like that. But I do know through friends and their experience that the markets here are fantastic for your fruit, veg and clothing, and they're everywhere. There's tons of them. But personally I prefer the supermarket route, it's just my style. Another example is fuel. I'm going to take you to my preferred, or should I say, local garages. But there seems to be big fluctuations in prices here in fuel and petrol stations on both petrol and diesel. So if you're willing to shop around, there's definitely big savings to be made there too. Alright, time to hit the road. It's going to be a busy one. So let's get going. Onward and upward. Supermarkets first, and I'm going to show you all the prices of the products that I've chosen. And although I said I wasn't going to do spreadsheets, I've been thinking about it. Just at the end I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to pick one of every item that I choose and add them up, all of them, including Tesco's, because Tesco's is in Ireland and the UK, and just so you can have a very brief compare. Alright, right, on the supermarkets.
Few inches later.
It's a beautiful day. Right, now, petrol and diesel next. So, this is my local fill yourself petrol station. So, there's the machines and then you pay with a card. But I find these the cheapest, although this may not be the cheapest one of all of those. And then this is my closest proper drive-in petrol station, which are more expensive. Now, time for the English supermarket. Supermarket, can't say it. Right? And remember, no comparisons. This shop's obviously going to be dearer.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Right, you can get your newspapers here, your English UK newspapers. Nice big shop. All the English and Irish bread. I get my favourite bread Brennan's plain loaf here, and that's what I ate at home. Not cheap. Best butter, super butter, tastes unbelievable, and actually not too dear. They basically sell everything that the big shops at home sell. You know, you can get anything you want. All the branded stuff from home. Dog food. All your cosmetics. And your jelly beans, of course. And I get potato, cheese and onion here, but again, since Christmas, they haven't had them. Now, time for fast food. McDonald's, KFC. I can see the KFC over there on the left, and I have to drive a mile to get to it.
5 minutes later.
Right, so I'll just choose the usual meal that I go for, and then I'll compare it to prices in the UK. That's my one, 3 pieces, chips and coke. Right. UK price. Right, so now head to McDonald's. The things I do for you guys.
Soon after.
Right, so same thing at McDonald's. I'll show you the menu, and then I'm just gonna pick my usual and compare the price to the UK. So, quarter pounder meal. Well, it's been a hard day. Cheers, guys. Right, so all done. I am absolutely shattered. You have no idea. I've been at that for hours. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to the apartment and get a Coke, an apple turnover, and we'll do a summary of everything that I've done today. Alright, see you in a minute.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Right, so this is all like in random order, and I'm going to start off with car insurance, which I found to be cheap here, cheaper than home. Now there's several levels of cover. Used to be at home too, but now it seems to be mostly fully comprehensive. But there's quite a lot of these, so I'll put it up to the display here for you. And if you want to have a good look, just pause. And these prices are from Generali, who I'm now insured with, and these were based on my quite old Ford Focus CC with electric roof and stuff, which I love. Next, I'm just going to make a comment on restaurants, because I can't start giving you prices of food, because there's a million types of restaurants, a million different prices, and good restaurants and bad restaurants and whatever. So I'm going to base anything I do say here on my knowledge, my experience. If you're going for an evening meal in either an average restaurant or maybe a slightly more upmarket restaurant, in my opinion, the prices are substantially lower than, for example, in the UK and Ireland. And I think somewhere in the region of 30 to 40%, and maybe on occasion up to 50%. And remember, no expert, I'm just giving you what I've learned, what my experience is. And a good wee tip. So if you want a meal out, you're living on a budget and you want to treat yourself, you're far better going for lunch here than dinner. In Spain, most restaurants offer special deals at lunchtime, and you get the full pack for relatively little money. You maybe get a starter and a glass of wine thrown in for a reasonably low cost. So that's a good wee trick. More expensive to eat out at night, but still, in my opinion, cheap. Next, I'm going to talk a wee bit about medical stuff. So when I got here originally, I applied and got my NIE card. When you have your NIE card here, that allows you to go to a medical centre and sign up. And I did it, and Right away I was able to make an appointment with the doctor, went to the doctor and talked about him. He wrote me a prescription. I said to him, can I just come here for anything? And he says, yep, no problem. I then went and got the prescription, which amazingly was only 45 cents, and it's 45 cents I pay every month. You don't need to go for your prescription every month or anything like that. They give you a sheet of paper. I think mine lasts 6 months, and then I have to go back and get it updated. So you just bring the same sheet of paper to the pharmacy 6 times. Very cheap. Now, I'm not sure about more complicated or larger prescriptions. Maybe you do have to pay a lot more or whatever. I just don't know, but that's what I paid for just a normal go and see your doctor. He writes you a prescription, 45 cents. All right. Next, it's medical insurance cover. I've had to take out a 1 year payment all up front medical insurance because I've recently applied for my residence, and that's just a requirement. They want you to pay up front so they know you're serious for a full year of medical insurance, and that cost me €1,100, which is okay for full medical insurance. But for as far as the residency goes, after the first year you won't be asked for it again, so you could potentially stop taking medical insurance. I don't know how that all works. In another year, whenever my insurance is coming to an end, I'll make lots of inquiries. I'll probably make a video of it and find out exactly what I need to do. But I did find out that during the process of getting prices, of getting quotes for medical insurance, that with some of the companies there's monthly payments, and it seems to work out a lot cheaper, like some were 700 or 800, maybe even a bit cheaper than that. I'll find out all about that at the time. My thinking in medical insurance is if I don't need it legally, I know that I have a doctor, I know they will take you into an emergency A&E, and if I was told I had something pretty serious, I know the choice is there to go home. So there's a lot to think about there before paying out the full medical insurance every year, although I may very well end up doing that, okay? And not advice, just that's my thought, that's what I'm going to do. What next? Right. Alcohol, purchasing alcohol in restaurants and bars, etc. Again, I can't really go into giving you all the individual prices of every different type of bar because there's just numerous amount. I'm going to give you a few prices of alcohol in the bar that I would go to the most, the place where I play pool. I'm in the pool team. And by the way, that is the Oasis Saint Luce, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is in El Chaparral. Nice wee place, but it's just an ordinary, average, everyday bar restaurant. Okay? So, and these are just a few examples. Bottle of San Miguel, €2.50. A pint of Amstel, €3.10. A pint of Heineken, €3.50. A Pepsi, €2.20. Vodka on its own, €3.50. With a mixer, €6. And in case you're interested, it's very typical in Spain, very typical prices. Sunday lunch, roast, and whatever, and there's usually you can have mixture, you can have the usual lamb, beef, pork. Okay, they charge $7.95 for a 1 course, $11.50 for a 2 course, and $14.95 for a 3 course. Very nice, by the way. And prices supplied by my pool teammate and friend and barmaid, Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. Nah, not going to go into many. I don't think I'm going to do any more prices actually, but a couple of other points I think it's worth mentioning. Most banks in Spain charge a monthly fee. ATMs, you have to be very careful. If you go to an ATM that isn't, if you have a Spanish bank account or you use a foreign card, you're going to be charged every time for every transaction between €4 and €7. So if you are going to use it, get a big lump sum out. To be honest, whenever I was coming on holidays, whenever I go anywhere on holidays, I always bring cash and make sure I have a safe because it's by far the best way. Just get your currency changed when you get to wherever you're going. Far better value, and you're not using ATM machines. Driving fines and parking tickets are much less. I think I was told 50% less if you pay them right away. In Spain, buying anything in a petrol station other than petrol and diesel is going to be really expensive. They way overcharge the way it used to be in the UK and Ireland at home before we got spars put into them and all. But they really overcharge. Whenever I go into the petrol station here, I never spent money on anything. Like a shot, I think I paid $3.50 for a wee bottle of Coke or something like that, you know. Don't go to Costa's and all the brand names coffee places, because all the wee restaurants and coffee shops, Spanish restaurants and coffee shops, do coffee, and it's very cheap and they're really good at it. Something else I'm going to mention, and it's not really on topic, I will be talking about this a lot in my monthly living expense video, but it's worth mentioning this. When buying a property here, expect to pay 14% of the purchase price in fees and tax. So it's quite a high amount. So when you're watching TV programs about buying property in Spain and all that, I'll not mention the exact program that I'm talking about, but they don't mention that. So people come, here's my budget, let's say it's 100 grand, and they go and find a property 100 grand. Well, it's not 100 grand, it's going to be at least 114 grand. No wonder a lot of people at the end of this program that I watch back out who you thought were actually going to buy. Maybe that's why, maybe they discover that. It's like, well, I haven't got that amount of money. So yes, add that on. And to be honest, if you're going to buy a property here, even if it's just a property to come for holidays and stuff like that, allow a bit more than 14%, because you'll want to put cartweek rugs in it, you'll want to do this and you want to do that and make it your own. You'll always spend extra money on that. Alright, just a wee tip. That's it. And I'm going to stick, after being out all day and doing that and having this all in my head, now I'm going to stick to my initial belief that Spain on average is probably around 20, maybe up to 30% cheaper than the UK overall. Some stuff is more expensive, there's stuff you pay for it and it doesn't make any sense you're paying so much for it, especially in fees for things. But overall, when you balance it all out, I think 20 up to 30% cheaper. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope anyone that's considering buying a property here found it useful and helpful. And if you did, don't forget, thumbs up. Please subscribe, and as always, please comment. Love to hear your comments. I always respond to comments, and it really helps the algorithm and the YouTube algorithm when it sees that people are communicating in your channel. But I'm going to leave it off there. So until next time, bye for now.